windows down and ready to ride.
Now it's working fine. Hi, Vicky. Hi, everybody. Wow, was there a gremlin in my computer today? Was there a gremlin, Casey Carey? There was a gremlin. In case you guys can't tell, I'm not sure if you can, I am channeling Paisley from 2015 today. I have on my eyeshadow from 2015. My hair is got a poof. You see this little poofy here? This is a little confidence poofter. And, but it's actually low now, I'm realizing. But whatever. It did its purpose. And, but I would say that 2015 Paisley would be ecstatic with these boobs. That's one thing we can all agree on, luckily. I hope everybody's doing well today. There's no place like this place, so this must be the place. Bill, you are a wordsmith. A wordsmith, I tell ya. Sometimes I say words good, and sometimes I don't. Like there, for example. Por ejemplar. I'm finishing my drink. 3 gallons of water today and yesterday. Oh my god. I don't really want to talk about how much Red Bull, but I recognized earlier today that it's a slight addiction. I really like it. I believe it's taurine, whatever it is that you taste right when you sip Red Bull. Get it in the back of my mouth. Shoot it deep is what I would say to that. Anyways, let's watch some court on that note. I hope I didn't make Courtney fall off her bike. Biking with her doggy. I almost said kitty. Could you imagine Courtney out there with her pussy? Biking away. So funny. Okay, let's Courtney. I love you.
This is in the District Court of Ellis County, Kansas, case number 25 CR 128, State of Kansas versus Justin Estudillo.
Estadio, sir.
Estudillo. May I have an announcement of appearances, please?
May it please the court, the state appears through Assistant Ellis County Attorney Joshua Becker.
May it please the court, the defendant Justin Estudillo appears in person and through counsel Olivia Robb.
Who's in the
That's me, Judge. You're asking who's here? I'm Paisley, also known as KCC or Kitchen Court Chats, depending on how formal you want to get. But you can just call me Pais. You know, it's okay, Judge. We'll be quiet over here while we listen in on this fucking clusterfuck.
the top left box? It just says Zoom user.
I believe that's Raven Smith, Your Honor.
That is correct, Your Honor. She is the victim in this matter, and I've asked her to be available to testify.
Okay. We are set for hearing on the motion to modify bond and to lift a no contact order. Ms. Robb.
Thank you, Your Honor. As set out in my motion, Mr. Estudillo has minimal criminal history, if any. This was an unfortunate event where there was an argument between he and Ms. Smith. Ms. Smith is present, as the court can tell, and in speaking with her, she would also ask that the no contact order be lifted. They have multiple children together, and she's actually pregnant with another child. So they need to be able to communicate with regard to the children. We're also asking for Mr. Estudillo to be released on a supervised bond. We can certainly understand the hesitation the court may have in just sending him home. So Ms. Smith has made arrangements for herself and the children to reside with her mother in Hayes so that Mr. Estudillo could reside in their home. He is originally from Shawnee County, and so he doesn't have family in the area as Ms. Smith does. I know that Ms. Smith indicated that she has begun individual counseling. Mr. Estudillo would also very much like to pursue that, and then they would like the opportunity to do some joint sessions or couples counseling as well, so that they can each learn how to deal with conflict in a better manner. The other issue at hand, Your Honor, is
Can anybody give me an example of how else we could deal with conflict with a spouse? I would love to hear some examples in the chat, folks. This is, after all, a sub-educational channel. Or perhaps a subpar educational channel would be more accurate. We could use our words, right? Are we all falling short? None of us know. Oh, to divorce them. Cellulite yoga pants, straight to the point. And I like it. I like it a lot. Perfect. Heavy medication, Bill, another great answer. You know what, you guys? A+ is all around. Let's continue.
As these parties have, I believe it's 5 children presently, and Mr. Estudillo was the provider for the household as Miss Smith stayed home with the children. And so with him being incarcerated and not able to work, they are not able to bring in money to maintain their household. And that's also a huge concern to Mr. Estudillo. He would be very willing to participate in the BIP program. If the court would allow him to begin that now, that would be grand, and certainly has no objection to whatever level of supervision the court feels necessary.
What do we
Mr.
think
Becker.
the judge will do?
Your Honor, the public safety risk here is apparent from reading the affidavit, just based on the allegations that he got in a fight and so he started swinging a crowbar. As for the defense counsel's proposed remedies to provide for public safety on bond, I would note that neither of those are in progress, and that the apparent ability for either of those to start has not been alleged. I don't know who or where he would be doing couples counseling. I don't even know if BIP would take him while he was on bond. So I just don't think there's enough right now to ensure anybody's safety while he would be released on bond. The same is true for the no contact order. There's just a big safety risk that's apparent here. But if the court would release on bond, I'd ask the court to keep the no contact order in place, except for couples counseling and communications about the children.
May I respond, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you. Obviously, Mr. Estudillo cannot participate in couples counseling while he's incarcerated. And as the court is likely aware, it takes some doing to get services through High Plains while you're incarcerated as well. So his intention would be to contact High Plains upon release and schedule an intake for individual services. He has no objection if the court would choose to simply modify the no contact order to permit contact with regard to the children and for couples counseling. That's obviously not preferable, but he understands why. And as to the allegations of the affidavit, of course, those have not yet been proven. We dispute some of those allegations. And so while I understand where Mr. Becker is coming from, I think there's more to the story that's not contained in the affidavit.
Ms. Hecker,
Yes, Your Honor.
court services able to provide bond supervision?
Yes, we will be in this matter.
Okay. And Ms. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. He is requesting a lifting of the no contact order between you and himself.
Correct.
And your view?
I am more than willing to let it get lifted. You know, I'm no better than he is in anger wise, you know, so it's a thing that me and him both are working on to try to fix. And I think would be more than willing to let it be lifted so he can come home and see his kids and me and help.
Anything further, Ms. Robb?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Becker?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. The court will allow an own recognizance bond supervised by court services. At this time, the court is not going to lift the no contact order. He will not have contact with any of the children, and you've indicated there are 5 children.
Yeah, and I'm currently pregnant.
Okay. He is to have no contact with any of your children. Okay. He is only allowed to have contact with you in person in the presence of a counselor. Okay. He is required to do couples counseling. He is required to apply for and follow through with the batter's intervention program if he is accepted. He is required to comply with all conditions of bond supervision as set forth by court services. He will only have contact with Ms. Smith in the presence of the counselor. Otherwise, your communication will be electronic. And you will have no contact with the children at all until further order of the court. So you will need to reside at a residence separate from Ms. Smith.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I already have bags packed and ready to go for me and the kids to go stay with my mom just in case if he needed to come home.
Okay. So you'll need to verify with court services when you have completed your move. He's not to be released until you and the children have moved to the second residence that you're indicating.
Yeah, we could do that sometime today. My mom has she's getting ready to go in for surgery. We could probably go over there afterwards. I'm sorry, I'm crying.
Judge don't care, judge don't play, lady, baby. Hi, Adam. I'm not crying today. I'm 2015 Paisley.
You'll have to let court services know when you have completed your move.
Okay.
And then court services can let the jail know that he can be released to report to court services.
Okay.
Raven, do you have that phone number to call them?
I don't. Let me grab my paper real fast. What's that phone number?
It'll be 7.
Okay, I got that written down.
But y'all don't.
Mr. Estudillo, I don't know if they've served you yet or not, but there's also a protection from abuse that has been filed
Yes,
regarding,
Judge.
I just got the message about that this morning too from the father
Yes,
that
Judge.
did that.
regarding one of the 5 children.
Yeah.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And they've set a hearing for that you need to attend in person.
Yes, sir.
Okay. While you're on bond, you'll follow all conditions as set forth by court services. That will include the standard. You will obey all laws of the United States, the state of Kansas, and any other political subdivision you're allowed to travel into. You will keep current contact with your attorney. You'll appear at all scheduled court hearings. And you'll comply with each and every other condition of bond set forth by court services, in addition to the requirements that I've set forward of couples counseling being the only in-person contact with Ms. Smith. Otherwise, it needs to be electronic contact. Apply for the BIP evaluation, and if accepted, you must comply with that treatment. And no contact with any of her 5 children.
Yes, sir. I fully understand.
Okay. Anything further you'd like to add, Ms. Hecker?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Becker, will you do a journal entry?
Yes, I will.
Is anybody else going to write about this in their journal?
And again, Mr. Estudillo, you'll be released when court services has verification that Ms. Smith and the children have moved to the second location. Then she'll contact the jail. You'll report immediately to court services.
Yes, sir.
It may happen this afternoon. It may not happen till tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Depends on how long it takes for them to move.
Understood.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Who
Any
does he
further
sound like?
clarification you need for the journal entry, Mr. Becker?
From South
No, Your
Park?
Honor.
Anything further for the record, Ms. Robb?
I would just remind Mr. Estudillo, you have a status hearing on Tuesday at 10 a.m. and that's in person at the courthouse.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
My letter to you got returned, so your little reminder I hoped you would have isn't available to you right now.
If you wouldn't mind shooting.
If you wouldn't mind saying thank you to NPC. Oh, I would love to make you some French toast. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys are making me hungry in the chat. Keep it coming. Just like that. Seriously, thank you, NPC. I appreciate that so much. The judge looks so sad and disappointed. He ain't had French toast in a while. Is that some kind of weird code? I don't know, but I'm down for it if it is, Bill. I don't know.
My mom a message.
I can do that. Yep.
That would be a great way for me to make sure that I do not forget that.
Very good. Yep. I will take care of that. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Should we watch some more court? Should we? Should we? I think
Okay.
we should.
Thank you all.
You.
Everybody? Me?
Thank you, Judge.
Me, Judge?
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Next. Let's listen to a good situation for once. KTZ in the house. Let's listen to a good situation for once. Sometimes we don't. Like that was not a good situation. This one's gonna be. Then we've got more.
All right, good afternoon. Ms. Johnson.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Your Honor. Today we are here for a review hearing in the matter of Stokely Glass. Present with us today is the client, Stokely Glass, her parents, Andrew Glass, Heather Durrell, her attorney, Katie Tompkins. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Johnson?
Thank you. Your Honor, during this reporting period, Stokely has done well with maintaining the services and supports put in place by the residential aftercare program. Your Honor, Stokely still struggles from time to time with irritability, frustrations. She's easily triggered, and she thinks that people should stop what they are doing immediately because Stokely says so. Your Honor, she will learn in her adult life lessons. The world doesn't work like that. These areas, Your Honor, will mature with more adulting. Your Honor, Stokely completed her assigned 7 to 8 week job placement program at Applebee's. Stokely completed her 6 substance abuse classes with Michelle Anguano. Per Michelle, Stokely was fully engaged and continued to reach out to Michelle to make sure they were meeting each week. She has no current concerns. During this reporting period, Your Honor, Stokely has counseling services with clinician Joy Johnson. Per Joy Johnson, she has been fully engaged in each session. She has no concerns. Stokely has also been compliant with her curfew, accountability where she needs to be, and reaches out from time to time to check her tether percentage, which shows me, Your Honor, a sense of responsibility. Stokely completed her written driver's test during this reporting period, to which she reported she passed. Stokely is on the right track with 17.25 high school credits before graduating with Lighthouse Academy. She will return to school on July 15th. Stokely has maintained throughout the 90-day aftercare program, Your Honor, thus far, with the residential GEMS program providing all negative oral drug screens, to which has been given randomly by myself, Your Honor. Last test was given on June 6th, to which also was negative. Your Honor, it is a pleasure meeting Stokely and working with Stokely in the GEMS program as her probation officer. She has remained respectful, listened to my advice, and has remained humble enough to listen to the hard conversations from time to time that is and was needed. Your Honor, my team and I will continue from time to time to reach out to Stokely after discharge, checking in on her and seeing how she is progressing in her life. Your Honor, it is recommended that Stokely be discharged today, June 10th, from the Kent County Juvenile Detention Center GEMS residential placement and her tether removed. She has successfully completed the residential program actually as of July 3rd, Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, just to confirm.
June 3rd, June
You were
3rd.
right the first time.
I was
Okay,
right the
all
first time, right? I
all
read
right,
the wrong
all
thing.
right.
Woo! Erica, you came in the middle of a good case. Late fee accepted. Also, KTZ's got a show tonight. I saw our wonderful mods putting that command in the chat. Make sure you check it out. Hi, Christy. You guys, isn't this just a feel-good case? Look at everybody smiling. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You know how hard it is? Do you know how hard it is to get a case like this where you get everybody smiling? This is incredible. Good job, Stokely. What excellent work. And it takes a lot of work. I'm so glad that she's done it. This is her village coming together. We're part of it. Yay! Shut up, Bill. God damn it. But I'm not going to say that. Courtney, I love you. I'm stoked for her too. Stokely is such a unique name. Stokely, from a Paisley to a Stokely. Be prepared. Assign mods to a channel? Yeah, I think you just click on their name in the chat and then it says make moderator, John. If I'm not mistaken. But this court is in Kent County? Anyways, let's let them finish their little happiness. And thank you. I love this dress too. You guys rock. What a nice night we're having so far. We're gonna get back to some other shit, so don't worry.
Okay. All right. Ms. Tompkins, any questions
Thank you.
for Ms. Johnson?
I don't have questions, no.
Okay. Ms. Giroux, any comments, questions, or concerns about the recommendation?
No concerns. I'm in agreement. I do see the struggles that Stokely still has from time to time. Um, but the way that she is able to cool herself down and come back to the situation with a different perspective, with the work that Ms. Latasha has done with her, has been completely, it has turned her around, and it's been amazing to see the growth that Stokely has done throughout the time that she has been on probation. And now it's time to put that hustle in and get into the adult world where she can be more independent and learn from all of this work that everybody has put into her.
Thank you, Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass, can I suggest not throwing rocks in your house? I guess
See if I can
Andrew
help you
is your
there.
dad.
You're still muted.
Like I said, this is a unique case. But still, nobody can fucking unmute themselves. Zoom, you need to figure it out.
Still
It's
muted.
obviously too hard. Right? This is years we've been going on this and nobody can unmute themselves. I want more interruptions and mute and people being off mute accidentally than this. I'm constantly dealing with this. Constantly.
And now I
Stokely's
think
getting
he's
pissed.
frozen.
Stokely's like, oh my god, my dad is disappointing me constantly.
And he's in our waiting room, so we'll
I'm
let him in here.
joking.
Mr. Glass, are you
There
there?
we go. I'm sorry. I don't know why, but my settings weren't allowing me to access my microphone.
Okay,
And
that
that was new
happens.
to me, so it
Yeah.
took me a fix. Uh, I was just gonna say that I think both Heather and Tasha said it very well, and I think that Stokely is in that. She's on that, and she's ready for that next step. And I think independence and learning how to navigate and doing her thing and using those skills is necessary. And I think she's done a great job up to this point.
Thank you. Stokely, anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I just like to say, even though it's been like a really rocky path for me, that I'm actually kind of grateful for where I've gone to be able to get myself together.
Yeah, sometimes it's not a straight path. In fact, it's often not a straight path, and we learn more from struggles than we do from something that comes easy. So, that's the positive side of the whole thing. So I'm glad you recognize that. So what are you up to? What's your next step?
I am going to go live back with my mother, and she's going to help me out with getting my license and setting up my own bank account and getting my own phone bill plan, all that stuff. She's just trying to help.
Okay. What about work?
Oh yeah, I'm getting a job.
Okay. That's got to come before the bills, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Any idea where you're going to apply?
Probably because we have like grocery stores right by us, so probably like E&A or something like that.
Okay. And how did you enjoy your experience with Applebee's?
It was very unique.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything, if you had to pick one thing that you learned from that experience, what would that be?
That staying calm really because not all people are gonna react the same way, and that there's always gonna be different types of people everywhere, and it's just about staying calm with the rude, disrespectful people.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We can't control other people, but we can definitely control ourselves.
Mhm.
And it's the only person we can control. So, um, good. That's a huge lesson. If you've internalized that, that's wonderful. So, all right. I saw your picture. Miss Kedra sent me a picture, so the whole JTask team a picture of your graduation. And we were all excited, and I'm conveying all of our thoughts that everybody at JTask is very proud of you, and excited to see that you graduated. And I will definitely let everybody know tomorrow afternoon when we meet that you were successfully discharged from probation. So
Okay.
congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
actually, I need to let Ms. Tompkins give her statement, but I sort of jumped the gun here.
Well,
Ms.
you
Tompkins.
kind of gave it away, so congratulations, Stokely. I fully support it. You've grown a lot in the last, I was just checking my file, it's been 2 years. So that's a ton of progress and a lot of growing up. And I think that you're amazing and you've done a lot of hard work, and I wish you all the success in the future.
Yep. I also want to thank both Mr. O, Mr. Glass. This has not been an easy journey for you either. So just, appreciate, I know you do anything for her. She's your daughter, but I know times are tough sometimes. And I just want to extend our appreciation for your hard work as well. Because Stokely definitely did not do this on her own. She was the most important, but she had a lot of support. So, and thank you to Ms. Johnson and the GEMS program. Thrilled that it sounds like she learned some really important stuff and has internalized it, and it's going to go, put it into practice as an adult. So, and congratulations on passing your driver's test. There's all this positive thing, stuff.
Yeah.
I keep trying not to forget something. So,
And just a correction, Your Honor, the graduation she graduated from, that was Friday from the gyms.
right. Oh, did I
Not
say JTask?
JTask.
I'm sorry, I meant
That's
gyms.
okay.
I've got JTask on the brain.
Yeah, I know.
The picture was sent to the JTask team.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, so we were all pulling for you the whole time too. So even though you're no longer in JTask. So, all right. Well, go forth, do great things. I know you will. And congratulations again. I'll discharge Ms. Tompkins as the attorney in this matter.
Thank
And we're
you.
adjourned.
Wow. See how rarely that happens, you guys? We almost never see that. I could tell from the second we turned it on. It's like when you come home and you can tell from your mom's tone of voice whether or not you fucked. Was that just me? When you come home and you can just tell, you're like, oh shit. Shit is gonna fly tonight. Somebody's in trouble. Sounds like it might be me. Based upon how she talking. How hard she stomps her feet if the door slams. Well, I hate to kill everybody's good mood, but let's continue on with our night. These ones I cannot guarantee are as positive, but we'll watch them together anyways. We'll make it through together. I promise. I promise we'll weather the storm. Here's one. Let's see.
CM 5455. We are here today, June 5th, 2025. It's 12:40 in the afternoon. I am Judge Phyllis Martinez Gonzalez. I am the presiding Title 40 judge for Court 44 here in El Paso County. The pleading that is before this court is an original petition in suit affecting the parent-child relationship with 3 children. May I have announcements, please?
Yes, Your
Jenny.
Honor.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Victoria Bongett with the Attorney General's Office for the State of Texas, ready to proceed.
Thank you.
Kenny Escudero on behalf of Priscilla Mundo, ready to proceed.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that Mr. Alexander Christopher Bettis is not present for today's proceeding. Ms. Mundo, please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you provide this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You can lower your hand. Ms. Bongett?
Thank you, Your Honor. May I give a brief opening?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I believe the state and Ms. Mundo are in agreement to proceed in default on the SAPSR action. There is also a divorce pending and the same cause number. One of the exhibits, Your Honor, will be a protective order in a different cause number, and I ask that the court take judicial notice of cause number 2024 DCM 6195. Specifically, the current protective order against Mr. Perez, as well as the files in this SAPSR action specifically the petition, the reset order signed by Mr. Perez, and the acknowledgement of paternity for one of the children, which we'll use to establish long-arm jurisdiction over him, a non-Texas resident.
Okay.
And then, Your Honor,
Long-arm
we're asking
jurisdiction.
for
Oh, that's interesting. We don't actually hear about that often. When we do, it tends to be in Texas, but long-arm jurisdiction. So they are exerting jurisdiction over somebody that is not in their jurisdiction, and he's not even submitting himself to the jurisdiction of the court because he's not here. It'd be a totally different thing. Sometimes we do hear judges ask, are you submitting yourself to the jurisdiction of the court? And if they're not stupid soft sits, they usually answer yes. But this is unique a little bit. Create some drama.
guideline support, asking that you deem income based on information from Ms. Mundo and my colleague, Ms. Nunez, when called.
Okay. This court will take judicial notice of all documents within the court's file, specifically the original petition and suit affecting the parent-child relationship, along with the attached acknowledgement of paternity. This pleading was filed by the Attorney General's office on or about October 7th of 2024. This court will further take judicial notice of the active protective order. This is under cause number 2024 DCM 6195. Further, this court will take judicial notice that Mr. Bettis appeared before this court and signed the last reset form indicating he would make his appearance here today and has not done so. Were you going to call Ms. Nunez next? Because I don't think I swore her in yet.
Yes, Your Honor, after I provided the court notice of our notice to him of this date.
Okay, let me just go ahead and swear her in. Ms. Nunez, please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you provide this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you. You can lower your hand. You may proceed, Ms. Ponget.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor, this is the notice of today's hearing with the date, time, and Zoom information addressed to the address, email address we have for Mr. Perez.
Any objections, Ms. Escobedo?
No objections, Your Honor.
States one admitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I will stop that share. And may I go ahead and call my first witness, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I first call Ms. Nunez. Ma'am, what is your full name?
My name is Viridiana Nunez.
How are you employed?
I am a child support officer at the Office of Attorney General, Child Support Division, ma'am.
And what do your duties include?
I investigate cases, review sources of income, help parties negotiate child support.
And was any of that done today regarding Mr. Alexander Perez?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Please describe what you found.
I was able to find income information for the quarters consisting of the first quarter of 2024 and the second quarter of 2024.
And what exactly were you able to find?
The gross monthly income for him at that time was $2,884.60.
And ma'am, were you able to find any other cases for child support for Mr. Perez?
No, ma'am, I was not.
Anything else to report, Ms. Nunez?
Nothing else, ma'am.
Your Honor, I pass this witness.
Ms. Escobedo, do you have any questions of Ms. Nunez? Oh, I couldn't hear you.
I have no questions of Ms.
Okay,
Nunez,
thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Nunez. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Ms. Ponget.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state next calls Ms. Mundo. Ma'am, what is your full name?
Mundo.
Who are the children in this case?
It's going to be Trinity Perez, Alexander Perez Jr., and Serenity Perez.
And ma'am, who is the father of these three children?
Alexander Christopher Perez.
And ma'am, is it correct that he is no longer in Texas at this time?
Yes, that is correct.
Previously, though, he did in fact live with you and the children?
Yes,
In the state of Texas?
yes,
And he actually signed an acknowledgement of paternity for one of your 3 children?
yes. She was the one that was born before we got married. Yes,
And finally, ma'am, there is a divorce between the 2 of you pending in another court at this time?
yes.
Were you able to hear my opening statement to the court?
Yes.
And so, ma'am, with regard to your 3 children, um, you are in agreement that the father uh, has come in and appeared in this court at least once before?
Yes.
And you have managed to obtain a protective order in another cause, is that correct?
Yes.
And as far as you're aware, ma'am, that is a lifetime protective order?
Yes. It is.
And it covers who as the victims or applicants?
So it'll cover the I guess like the main one would be my daughter.
Oh my god, a pre-show meeting, KTZ. Ugh, that's what real YouTubers do, I've heard. They have check marks, they have meetings, guys in the truck. Amazing. I hope you have a great night. I'm just kidding with you. Seriously, and we'll make sure to put up that link again and people will check it out tonight. Wholesome Cases are not my middle name, but we try. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good show.
So Sheila Aguilar, and then myself, and then any other um
Oh, you meant pancakes. You saw my amazing recipe for pancakes, which includes a secret ingredient, carbonated water, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want those fluffy pancakes that reach the sky that people say are divine? That's how you get them. That's how you do it. I would love to make you fluffy pancakes, NPC. Thank you for the super chat. Well, that's the other secret ingredient, Courtney, but shh.
I guess inhabitants of the home, which would be my son Larry Aguilar, my other son Adan Duran, and then the 3 little ones would be Trinity Perez, Alexander Perez, and Serenity Perez.
And then, ma'am, you have your own counsel, so I'm going to stick to the financial support issues if you don't mind, okay?
Okay.
At this time, how do your children, or excuse me, do you have any health insurance available to the children through an employer or the marketplace?
No, they have Medicaid.
And do you know, ma'am, if Mr. Perez has anything available through his employment or the marketplace?
No.
Were you able to hear my colleague, Ms. Nunez, testifying earlier?
Yes.
As far as Mr. Perez having any other children, would you agree that he only has your 3?
Yes, he only has my 3 children.
And then, ma'am, as far as employment or income, do you know anything different or more recent about Mr. Perez's income?
Like I said, I do know that he's working in construction. Like I said, I'm only going based on the things that I know over the years, but because he was also a business owner at some point. So when he was here in Texas, he wouldn't accept anything less than $20 an hour, when he was looking for employment.
What exactly has he done for work?
He's always been a foreman in construction. And like I said, he used to be a business owner. He used to have an underground construction company. He used to do like fiber optic for AT&T.
And ma'am, when did you and he separate?
The official separation date was July 26th,
Of what year?
2024.
And when you say official, ma'am, is there any other date?
No, I mean we've tried separating before. Well, I tried separating before, but no, it was nothing actual like separation.
Since that time, ma'am, when you and he stopped living together for the last time, has he provided any financial support to you for the children?
No.
And so, ma'am, as far as going back to that July 26th of 2024 date, you and your attorney had come up with a number of $10,670 as a judgment based on your understanding of what he would accept in terms of earnings.
Yes.
And if that's approved by the court as a judgment, do you have any problem with it being repaid in the amount of, or do you have any preference, excuse me, on the repayment amount?
No, I don't.
Okay. And then, ma'am, as far as the other support issues, well, actually, Ms. Mundo, based on the state's pleadings, I believe the issues of non-disclosure, conservatorship, possession and access, or visitation have not yet been addressed before this court, correct?
Yes.
All right. Your Honor, at this time, I defer to Ms. Mundo's attorney.
Thank you. Mrs. Escudero?
When you and Mr. Perez lived together, who was the primary caretaker of your children?
I was.
Okay. And the protective order that you currently have, was Mr. Perez, did the court find that he had committed family violence
Yes.
and sexual assault?
Yes.
And so you're asking the court to appoint you the sole managing conservator of your children?
Yes.
And you believe this is in your children's best interest?
Yes, I do.
And due to the family violence, you're asking that his visitation also be restricted
Yes.
and that it be supervised by Project Amistad?
Yes.
And you believe this is in your children's best interest?
Yes, I do.
And I know that you already answered some questions about his earnings here in Texas, Mr. Perez's earnings. Did Mr. Perez ever get paid in cash or personal checks?
Yes, the whole time that he worked, when the whole time he had the company, like I said, the LLC that he owned, he would get paid personal checks. And he's also gotten paid, cash as well.
And some of this cash, he could have not reported, right?
Yeah, actually, I don't even know if this is, substantial, but he never actually filed, the taxes for the LLC.
For the business.
Yes. I believe
Okay.
there was only 1 year that it was filed.
Okay. And so when you lived together, what was the take home? How much money was he bringing home a month after taxes and all that?
I would say about 3,200 a month.
Okay. And so we're asking the court that he pay child support based on $22 an hour,
Yes.
and that's his earning potential as far as when you guys were living together, before you separated.
Yes.
Okay. And so the total net would be $3,234.
Yeah. About.
And so we're asking that child support be calculated to $919 a month.
Yes.
And that's with medical support of $171 a month.
Yes.
And I'm sorry.
That seems very high, doesn't it? Isn't he making like under $3,000? That's like 30%. Also, you guys are sweet. I love our joking jokester atmosphere. We love it. We don't get ruffled. Our feathers don't get that ruffled that often. Plus, we like it. Some of us, anyways. When people poke fun. Good night, Billy.
We did the math again, correct, Ms. Mundo, and the retroactive child support with the correct amount was actually 10,109, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Um, and then so you're asking, I know that Ms. Bongad already touched a little bit on this, but you're asking the court to approve that your information be kept confidential and the standard permanent injunctions, correct?
Yes.
Um, I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Bungett?
Thank you, Your Honor. Very briefly. Ms. Mundo, after this hearing, when judge has made her rulings, an order will be prepared. Would you like the opportunity for it to be sent to your attorney and you so that we can submit it to the court tomorrow for approval?
Yes.
And then, ma'am, specifically as far as the visitation supervised by Project Amistad, is it correct that you were wanting the court to consider it be scheduled once every 2 weeks for up to 2 hours, depending on the facility's availability, with all costs paid by Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Did you say up to 1 hour or 2 hours?
To Your Honor.
2 hours, okay.
And then as far as the specific injunctions referred to by your attorney, two that you were most concerned about were not allowing him to make disparaging remarks about you in front of the children or within their hearing.
Yes.
As well as not actually doing anything physical to harm or make threats of such harm.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Ms. Escudero, anything else? Okay. Final remarks, Ms. Bungett?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's calculations, as far as my colleague's testimony, had child support at $708 a month, with medical support at $129 per month. Whichever figures the court orders, the state asks that this current support and repayment on the retroactive support judgment begin July 1, 2025, Your Honor.
Ms. Escudero, anything else you'd like to bring to the court's attention?
Nothing else that needs to be addressed, Your Honor, this time.
Okay, thank you. Based on the testimony before this court, I will find that both parents have a duty to support the children. It's Eternity, Alexander, and Serenity. This court will note and find that there has been past acts of domestic violence or family violence, and as such, I am going to appoint Ms. Mundo as the sole managing conservator with Mr. Perez as the possessory conservator. There will be no geographic restriction. I will grant the non-disclosure request. Access and possession will be through Project Amistad at the cost to be bared by Mr. Perez for any and all requirements by Project Amistad. It will be 1 day every 2 weeks at a time and date designated by Project Amistad, anywhere from 1 to 2 hours per visitation. Regarding child support, I will follow the recommendations provided by the Attorney General's office, and it will now become the order of this court, granting a retroactive child support in the amount of $10,109 and ordering that Mr. Bettis pay off that judgment at a rate of $150 per month, with all obligations to begin July 1st of 2025. Mr. Bettis is also ordered to pay any and all court costs as billed. Also, there will be a finding that this court does have personal and subject matter jurisdiction over Alexander Christopher Bettis, and as such, the order shall remain in full force and effect, unless there's anything else that will conclude this afternoon's hearing. Thank you, everyone.
She said subject matter jurisdiction. We all know what that means. Hi, News Now. What's up, buddy? What time is KTZ's show? I just set it up to go over there, but is it like what time? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I might have another little hearing. But 8 to 10, that's in 7 minutes. Yeah. I guess. Oh, look at that. One perfect little one. Perfect
Proceed today,
little
sir.
thing to say goodbye, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand.
Christian, raise your fucking right hand.
You swear or affirm the testimony you provide this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can lower your hand, sir. Ms. Bryant?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to take the court to take judicial notice of the file and all of its contents, specifically the temporary order establishing the parent-child relationship that was filed with the court on or around January 29th, 2025. In addition to the temporary order related to access and possession that was done by the Domestic Relations Office that was filed with the court on or about February the 7th, 2025. And lastly, the service that was provided to Miss Nicole Daniel Roberts that was served on May 6, 2025.
The court will take judicial notice of all documents within the court's file. Specifically, the service return of Ms. Roberts, it does appear to be in proper form. She was served on or about May 6, 2025. I'm sorry, she was served on May 6, 2025? About a month ago? Or did she make an appearance?
Oh, it might have been an appearance, Your Honor. Sorry, let me back up.
Well, let me take
Do
judicial
you hear
notice of
how
the
she
other
says
items.
5? I know
Okay.
I'm muted. I'm just saying 5. The way that
This
she's
court will
saying
take
5.
judicial notice of the pleading that was filed by the state of Texas. It is a paternity action. There was also a temporary order that was rendered in this court on or about January 29th, 2025, along with a domestic relations order for access and possession that was rendered on or about February 7th of 2025. The service on Miss Roberts, was it a service return? Was it an appearance?
Our records indicate that it was a service that was returned on May 6, 2024.
Oh,
Sorry.
2024. Then that was my mistake. I messed up on the number.
I think I said 2025. It's my fault.
Okay. You may proceed, Ms. Bryant.
All right, thank you very much. Your Honor, may I share screen, please?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd prefer you didn't, ma'am. What the fuck are you gonna put up there, Brittany? Come on now, double B. I'm about to
The
take
state
off all
is
my
now
clothes.
sharing screen in which we are looking at Exhibit A that we would like to offer to the court, in which we have our letter of notice that was sent to Ms. Roberts through her email address, in which it identifies the date and time for today's hearing, in addition to the logging in results. And we would like to ask that this be submitted as Exhibit A for the state.
Mr. Richards, do you have an objection with this document being admitted into evidence?
No, Your Honor.
State say admitted. Thank you.
Option share. Perfect. And Your Honor, today we would like to request that Mr. Richards and I have come to an agreement in regards to submitting the temporary order that was determined for by DRO for the access and possession of the child. And we would also like to confirm the temporary orders for establishing the parent-child relationship as submitted, with one change to said order, in which we are changing the medical support amount from $75 to $107, with everything else remaining the same.
Why are we changing it from 75 to 107?
Because for the Office of the Attorney General standards, currently it was set too low. Right now we have it set at 4.5%, which is the median amount of the 107.
Okay, thank you.
Can the state call its first witness, Your Honor?
Yes, go ahead.
we would like to call Christian Richards.
Go ahead.
Mr. Richards, can you state your name for the record?
Christian Richards.
Okay. And were you present when the temporary order was done for DRO on or about February the 7th, 2025 for access and possession?
Yes.
Okay. And are you still in agreement to the terms that were set up in regards to access and possession for you and Dylan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then in regards to the temporary order that was to establish the parent-child relationship that was completed on or about January the 29th of 2025. Do you recall that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you still in agreement with that, with the terms of those agreement?
Yes.
Okay. And then are you okay with the amendment that the medical support amount be changed from $75 to $107?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And do you believe all of these things to be in the best interest of Dylan?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Any other witnesses?
No, you may. No, no, Your Honor.
Okay. Any closing remarks?
No.
Mr. Richards, is there anything else you would like to address the court at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Based on the testimony before this court, I will approve and confirm this default with the change of medical support, and it will now become the order of this court. Unless there's anything else, that will conclude the hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. Have a good day. Thank you, Ms. Bryant.
Thank you guys for being here. I've already set it up to redirect over to KTZ's live stream. Go have a good time over there. Enjoy yourselves. I'm going to go make some cookies. I'm going to go make some dinner. I'm going to go make some love to myself by eating a lot of cookies. Anyways, I hope that you guys have a great evening. Thank you so much for being here. Tomorrow's going to be a daytime show. No nighttime show, daytime show. So that'll be... Oh, look how sweaty I am. I'm so sweaty. It'll be tomorrow in the morning at like 10 fucking a.m. That's like 1 Pacific. Okay? Alright. Do me a favor. Remember that I love you. And I'm proud of you. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.
Ways down and ready to ride.